Alrighty, gonna real quick go over how to take any regular model and make a copy of it as a mic and mouse model while retaining the original. So in VTube Studio, we're gonna double click on the screen, go to Settings, make sure you're in the General Settings, and click Open Data Folder. Now, what this is going to open up for you is this Streaming Assets folder. In here, you're going to go to the Live 2D Models folder, and you're going to double click and open that. And it should look something like this, with all of your model folders in it, although of course you'll have less than I do. You go to the model that you want to make a copy of and that you want to have a mic and mouse version, click on the folder, Control C, Control V, and now you will have a copy there. And if we go back into VTube Studio, we click the Close button, double click on the screen, click Change VTube Studio Model, and you should have both models listed at the bottom here now. If you don't, you can go ahead and click on your model to reload it, and that should update VTube Studio checking the model directory, and both versions should be here now. Now, this is very important. We want to make sure that we know which is which. So what we're going to do is we're going to just take a screenshot of this model, and we're going to save two versions of it. Version 1 is going to just be the image. Version 2 is going to have the word mouse on it, which you should just be able to add that by using the screenshot editing function. Okay, so once we have those, we're going to go back into that Live 2D models folder, and we're going to go into the original version, and we're going to go ahead and put our not edited one, the one that doesn't say mouse, image in there. And then we're going to click back into the Live 2D model folder, go into the folder that says copy, and we're going to put the image that has the word mouse on it in there. And now, when we go into VTube Studio, we want to make sure that we're on, well, it doesn't really matter which one we start on, I guess, but make sure we're on the model that we're supposed to be working on. Go into Settings, go up to the Model Settings button up here, and then as you can see, this says no icon. Yours might already have an icon, but if you click on that, it'll have the image that you put in the folder in there. So you click that and click Select, and now we know this is not the mouse one. And then we're gonna close that, double click, change VTube Studio model, go to the other model, click Settings, make sure we're still on Model Settings, go to the icon, select the one we just made, and as we can see, it says mouse, and it is a lot more legible that it says mouse when we open it bigger over here. So now we know this is our mouse model. Well, now we have to actually make it a mouse model. So we're going to go into our settings, and we're still going to be inside the model settings. And in here, we are going to scroll down, and we're going to have to find a bunch of settings to change, but once we've changed them, we don't have to touch them ever again. So the first one is face left right rotation. It will say face angle X as the input. We're going to click that input button, and we're going to type in MOU, and we should see mouse position X pop up right here. And then we're going to hit select. And as you can see, my model is already starting to follow my mouse, because all we've done is told it, hey, don't follow the head turn from the camera, follow the mouse. Now we're going to go to face up down rotation, and what do you know? We're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do mouse position Y, and hit select. And now my head is following my mouse. Now, we do have face angle Z here, and that's your head tilt. It's up to you whether or not this is something that you want to add to the mouse movement, because we don't really have a third option, right? So what I typically do for this one, if I want to use it, is I will key it to mouse position X, and it makes the movement just a little bit more dynamic, rather than, just left, right, up, down. We do have that tilt, but the tilt will always happen at the same time as the left, right turn. All right? Now, if you go down to I, X, and Y, depending on your rigging, you may not want to update this. You can test it. If you don't like it, you can turn it back. But all we would do here is just change the input, change the IX to mouse X, and the IY to mouse Y. And you can test how that looks, and if you don't like it, literally just go back in and change it back to, where is it? To the I left and right. All right? So that's all you gotta do there. Now, for mouse smile, we're gonna click inputs, and we're gonna change this to voice frequency. All right? That is going to be like the different sounds that you make, and that's most closely going to be tied to your mouth forms. And then mouth open, we're going to change the input to voice volume. And that is going to most closely tie to your mouth opening and closing. And as you can see, these are now moving, even though I don't even have my camera on. So they're tracking to my mic. Now, if yours isn't doing this, it means that your mic isn't properly set up with VTube Studio, and you just gotta go over to your webcam tracking settings, and then scroll down. Nope, I'm wrong. You gotta go to your general settings, and scroll down and make sure you have use microphone turned on, you have the correct microphone selected, and you may need to add some volume gain here or frequency gain if it's not pulling enough from your mic. All right, back to the model settings. Now we're almost there, but our body isn't moving and our eyes aren't blinking, which is really uncanny. So we're gonna go find our eye open parameters, and all we're gonna do is we're gonna check this little thing that says auto blinking. And that's it. It's literally just gonna go auto blink for you. And you have to just do that on the eye open right as well. And now, wow, you blink. Um, I know it doesn't properly look like this one is blinking, but that's because of how I have the eyes set up. They're actually physics outputs, so the setup for the auto blinking doesn't properly register, but it should for literally any model that isn't mine. If you would like to, you can try setting up your input for I smile as voice frequency. This is going to have varying success rates. I would recommend turning the smoothing way up on that if you're going to use it, because or else if you have it down, your eye's going to be jumping out a lot. So you can try that. I personally don't tend to like this, but that's up to you. And if you try it and you don't like it, then you need to just retie it to mouth smile, and then it'll stop doing that. And then we're just gonna scroll down until we get to body rotation X, and we're gonna do the same thing that we did before. Mouse position X, body Y, mouse position Y, body Z. If you want to, again, you can do mouse position there. And now, as you can see, my model does not require me having any sort of tracking. It just is as it is. Um, you can always mess with these input numbers, which is these numbers on the left. Do not touch the numbers on the right for... Oh no, am I not tracking my mouse so you can't see? Whoops, you can't see anyway. On all of these um, inputs where we have like the mouse position, then underneath it's the output, then we have smoothing, we have auto blinking, auto breathing. Right underneath that is inputs on the left and outputs on the right. And so the inputs are numbers that you can change. If it's not moving as much as you want, you would like it to move more, then you want to move both of these numbers closer to 0. So if they're both 1, you might do 0.9 and negative 0.9. If it's moving too much, you want to move both of them further away from 0, so maybe a 2 and a negative 2. But just remember, you always want them to remain the same distance, or the same amount of distance from 0. So try to figure out a good way to explain that. This is 1, this is negative 1, so they're both the same distance from 0. If you're moving this one up, you want to also do the same with the bottom one. If you see one that maybe the bottom number is 0 and the top number is 1, then you want to maintain that. So if you make the top number 2, you would want to make the bottom number negative 1. You want to move them both away from 0 the same amount at a time, generally speaking. But yeah, so we have this, and then all we have to do is go back over and go to the normal one. And as you can see, I'm moving my mouse around, I'm talking, I'm doing all the things. It doesn't do anything, it'll just track normally. I hope this made sense. I did kind of just uh, just hop on and do this kind of off the cuff. So I hope it made sense. If it didn't, let me know.